Recording. Thank you all for showing up tonight on Monday night, our little team Zoom night. Tonight's topic, before I get into that, a couple quick announcements. We have a sneak peek coming up later on this week, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If any of you have people you're talking to that are interested in coaching and joining our team, make sure to let them know about that event. It's gonna be on Facebook. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is kind of what we're shooting for. And then starting up on the 21st is going to be like a new cohort of new coaches going through training together. So for the past probably 6 to 8 months or so, it's been like a self-paced, go as you can kind of thing. But I kind of want to see if I can get back into hosting groups of them. So kind of use that as an incentive for yourself to set a deadline to be inviting to. I think there's 4 right now, which is an awesome number. So kind of keep that in mind too as you are. Yep, Ashley, the 21st, sorry, I don't have a calendar in front of me, but whatever next Monday is, a week from today. Is that the 21st? Yeah. Okay, and then just, of course, you can always check back to the calendar on the team page too. So we're going to go ahead and get rolling. Tonight's call is a little bit different in that it's actually one that I hosted already. It's over a year old for Dynasty United, but the content, somebody recently brought it back up to me, and I saw part of it, which is always really awkward, like watching yourself. But the content was really good, you guys, and I feel like I relearned. There were some things in there that I forgot that I used to do that have been really insightful for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to screen share that call with you. It's from spring of last year, so new to a lot of you if you have been coaches since then. So let's go ahead and try and figure out exactly how to do that. Please give me a little bit of patience as I for sure figure that out. Okay, I can see a couple of you guys. Can you guys see this page, the YouTube page? Okay, make the screen bigger. Okay, skip through all of the intro stuff, whatever announcements were happening at that point in time.
So thanks again for all that you prepared and for your willingness to share with us.
Thank you, Brittany. Can everybody see me, hear me? Just go ahead and type in the chat box if you're all set and good to go. And there's like a little bit of a delay here, so I'll hang on for a second. All right, awesome. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. For those of you that don't know me, I just want to give you a little bit of a background. So this is a picture of my family. That's my husband, Robert, and my little girl, Laura. And our puppy is actually sitting at our feet, but she didn't make the cut in the picture, I guess. But I started out as a challenger in 2013. I was in my first challenge group in August of that year. My coach helped me pick Chalene Extreme. I lost 5% body fat, 11 inches total, and just totally reconfigured my body. So I was in one challenge group ever, you guys. One. That was it. One challenge group. My program went beyond what the challenge group was. I kind of finished it by myself. I never talked to Brittany for a long time after that, but I still ordered Shakeology every single month for 11 months straight. So that is just kind of to show you to don't totally disregard the people that maybe were in your group a long time ago. It wasn't until June of 2014 that I reached out to her. Of course, I'd been following her. I just never talked to her. And I was like, hey, I want to do this coaching thing. So June 19th actually is coming right up, was will be my 2-year date as a Beachbody coach. So it really wasn't until a long time later that I decided to go in. I thought I was going to be a hobby coach. That lasted about a week. And then I was like, wait, I want to do this. This is totally fulfilling. I love this community. And I just went all in. So in the end of 2014, December, I put in my 2 weeks and I went full time at the beginning of 2015. I just want to share something with you about that I think sometimes we don't often hear. I was not one of those coaches that was making, twice my income or twice my salaries. I was able to quit. That was not the case for me. I look up to those coaches so much, but I just kind of want to share a perspective we don't often hear. I wasn't making thousands of dollars a month at the time, and but because of Beachbody, because I had a steady income, because it was growing, because it was beginning to supplement what I was making at my regular job, I didn't have to go find another job when life threw a few different curves at us. And so it ended up working out. Here I am a couple months later. I built a diamond, like Brittany said, while I was pregnant. I think I was like maybe 4 or 5 months pregnant. So it was right in the middle of my pregnancy. And here we are in 2016 today. So that's a little bit about me, in case you don't know who I am. Today we are going to be talking all about inviting. So this is kind of what you can expect. We're going to talk about the stages before the invite, which is maybe something you've never heard before. Actually sending the invite, following up after the invite, and then the follow-up after the follow-up. Again, maybe another stage that you haven't heard before. So I just kind of want to throw out there that there isn't one way to invite. If what you're doing right now maybe isn't getting you the results that you want, maybe this is a way that you can try. If this is something you're already doing, I would maybe encourage you to look elsewhere too. There really, like I said, there's not one way to invite. So have an open mind as you're listening to this presentation. Every slide is going to have an ask yourself, I call it. So, what are the questions you can ask yourself to really execute this process, and then have the how am I going to execute this. And you know what, you guys, I just decided I'm going to go off on a little tangent that wasn't planned, so I'm going to stop screen sharing so you can see me for a second. Okay, I believe so strongly, this is an expansion on the whole questions thing. I believe so strongly in taking ownership and responsibility for your business or your life, really. So you weren't late to work because you hit every red light. You were late to work because you didn't allow yourself the extra time in case you hit the red lights. So that's kind of the mentality that I'm talking about. You didn't miss Success Club last month because the one person who told you they were going to order on the 30th decided to spend that $150 elsewhere. That's not why you missed Success Club. You missed Success Club because you had all your eggs in one basket. And I'm not talking directly to anybody. This isn't personal. I'm really talking to myself. Honestly, truly, this has happened to me before. So one way that you can really all by yourself without the help of upline, downline, sideline, success partners, anybody else, one way that you can really take ownership of your business or your life is to ask yourself questions. The questions are so powerful, and then answer them. So I kind of want you to think of, when you are on calls with whether it's your corporate mentor or your upline or your success partners, like, I feel like the most productive time is when they are asking me questions and I'm answering them. So in order to do that yourself, and kind of mentor yourself. I don't think that's actually a thing, but asking yourself the right questions is going to go a really long way in this business, because it's not realistic to hop on a phone call every day, every week with your upline or your success partners or whatever. So that's one way that you can save a lot of time and just, ask yourself questions and answer them to take ownership of your business. So that's why on every single slide, there is going to be an ask yourself question. So I just want you guys to know where I'm coming from there. Okay, we'll go back to the PowerPoint now. Thanks for letting me stand on my soapbox for a second. Okay, so here we go. Before the invite, so this section of the inviting process, you have not started typing, you haven't picked up the phone to call. I want you to get inside your own head. So I want you to ask yourself, again, with that whole asking question thing, how would you feel if this person joined your challenge group? How would you feel if this person joined your team? Okay, so allow yourself to connect with that. You guys, this is a relationship business, so it's okay to, be emotionally invested. And honestly, you're going to have such a much stronger connection to them if you allow yourself 30 seconds. I don't want you to, don't turn this into an hour. Just 30 seconds to really think about this one person and what it means for you if they would join. And then put it back on them. What would this person bring to the group, or what would this person bring to the team? Maybe they're always peppy and they will provide so much motivation in your challenge group. Maybe, they just have this pretty vibe that you love to be around. So they'd be an awesome addition to your team. Think about what that person would do for your team. And I want you, before you started typing, okay, before you've done anything, to really think about those things. So a couple ways you can execute this is to, especially for those of you that are in your warm market, is to allow yourself to connect with a memory of that person and to kind of remind yourself of how they make you feel like when you're around them. It doesn't have to be a big grand event. It can be coffee from last month or whatever. But think about that memory and how it feels. For those of you that are more in your cold market, so you don't really know the person, remember that first impression. What did you think when you went to their profile? What is something about your conversation behind the scenes that has really stood out to you? And allow yourself to connect with them in that way, okay? You guys, even those people, everybody has those friends that don't ever post anything themselves on their profile page. All they do is share. Those people are still going to be great because clearly they love to share everything, public service announcements or life hacks or whatever. You can even use that to be like, oh, they're going to be a great sharer, and they're going to, share what they're doing at their home, and they're going to share in my challenge group what they're eating. So even if they do nothing on their own social media page except share other people's stuff, that's still an asset, and you can still, jump on that. So again, you have not started inviting. This is what you're going to take 30 seconds to do before you send a personal invite to somebody. All right, actually sending the invite, we've already, asked yourself what it's going to mean for you, what they're going to add to the group. And so now I just want you to think about your connection with them as you are sending out the invite, okay? So how to execute this. Honestly, I just want you to tell them about that memory. Tell them about the way that they make you feel, like, in a non-mushy way. But, especially those people that have such pretty vibes that you just love to be around. Tell them and, share your first impression with them if it's somebody that you don't know, okay? Go ahead and sandwich the invite, you guys. Don't ever underestimate that power of how are you. Like, honestly, seriously, maybe somebody never asked them that at all this whole week, and you're going to, make their day. That's actually your job in the invite, is to make their day, make them feel good about this invitation, about what is going on in their life right now. So yeah, never underestimate that power of how are you. Go ahead and throw the information that you think is appropriate or whatever is your style in there about the invitation. And then you can always follow up with that line, like, even if this isn't something you're interested in right now, like, what have you been up to since I saw you last? Or have you been back to, some vacation spot you went to at some point, or I don't know, whatever the case might be. But go ahead and, what, because even if they don't want to be in your challenge group right now, this still gets your conversation going. This still makes them feel good about the way that you're approaching them. So make their day when you're sending out the invitation. This is one of the most important parts of the whole invitation process, is the follow-up. Okay, so kind of, again, ask yourself, what does this person bring to the group? How do they make you feel? And then, why are they just a good person? Why do you want them in your group? What do they have to bring? The follow-up is going to be so easy, you guys, if you follow those other two steps about really allowing yourself to connect with this one individual and what they're going to bring to your team or to your challenge group. Okay, so we know the follow-up is important. You've heard that 100 times, but sometimes we kind of shy away from it because we're like, oh, I don't know. But it's going to be easy if you've already, connected with them, or if you've already gotten in your own head and realized why you want them there. So all you have to do is tell them, again, what, this group and this team is already awesome. You're going to make it better because you insert whatever is your favorite quality about them. Follow-up is really, really easy once you have mastered those initial stages about being proactive and getting yourself prepped for the actual invite. One of the lines that I like to use, and seems to be somewhat successful for me anyway, is just use that line as, I'd really like you to be there. And, just be really straightforward with them and share with them, again, go back to what you love about them, why you want them to be there, and make their day, again, in the follow-up, just like you've already done in your initial invitation. We're going to keep cruising right on here. I bet you guys maybe didn't know that there is like a follow-up to the follow-up. Have you ever heard that before? This is like the making and breaking point of your business, of your invitation. I honestly, truly mean that. This is where you're going to ask yourself, I'm going to write this down, is, am I committed to standing by them? So they've probably at this point already said no or ignored you, maybe twice or maybe more. But this is such a big deal because this is the point where they are going to find out if you're truly committed to them. If you invite somebody honestly, like one time, and then kind of let it sit, you're not showing them that you really believe in them, or you really believe that they can make a change for their life. But when you follow up after the follow up, this behavior at this stage is going to help them really jump in and show them that you really truly believe in them. So you need to give them the I'm committed to you feeling, and that I'm right here beside you feeling. And honestly, truly, they can't experience this in the first invitation. They can't. It's just not something that comes with that very first invite. It comes with time and you showing them that you are there and that you believe in them. Before I jump to the next slide, I just kind of want to hop back to that whole questions thing and how I truly do believe they are very powerful. And we've used them all in a positive way so far. Unfortunately, sometimes questions can have a negative effect, and I want to show you a way that I shift my mindset to shift those negative questions. So here's kind of what I mean by that. Every single one of these situations, I want you to ask yourself how you can flip the question. So raise your hand, type in the chat box, whatever. Ask or let me know. Have you, before you send an invite, have you ever asked yourself, what if they say no? What if they say no? Who has felt that way before? I know I have. Okay, so instead of asking yourself, what if they say no? I want you to ask yourself, what if they say yes? What? Like, have you ever sat in an invite or looked at someone's profile picture and been like, what if they say yes? Go ahead and try that next time and let me know how it goes. Here's another one. What if they think I'm bugging them? Okay, I'm sure we've all felt that before. But instead of asking yourself, well, what if they think I'm bugging them? I want you to ask yourself boldly, what if they're flattered that I thought of them? Right? Like, what if they see you posting and doing all this cool stuff all the time? You're a girl boss and you rock in this awesome community. And what if they're like, oh, she thinks I'm cool too. She wants me to do this too. What if they're flattered you thought of them? Go ahead and try that one next time. Here's another one. What if they treat me differently in person? Okay, this is a huge hesitation. I know I've had many coaches, sort of tell me this before, but I want you guys to ask yourself instead, what if this group or team strengthens our relationship? Like, what? What if you have a good friend already that you know, and now you have this extra connection over health and fitness, and you get to do more activities together because you're being active outside and you're going to healthy restaurants or cooking together or whatever the case might be. What if this opportunity strengthens your relationship instead of asking yourself, what if they treat me differently? Here's another one. What if they want to be left alone? We've thought of that. That's kind of like the bugging them thing. But you guys, what if they're waiting to ask or waiting for you to ask, right? I don't know if Erica Johnson is on this call, but she'll tell you that I think Brittany, kind of pursued her about coaching for maybe 4 or 5 months, and she said no 4 or 5 times. But then she hit this moment and she's like, well, maybe if Brittany asks me one more time, I'll say yes. And obviously now look what she's doing. Like, she's amazing. And it was because she was waiting for Brittany to ask her one more time. Okay? So ask yourself that next time. Okay, this is a huge one. This is my favorite one. What if nobody replies to my 15 invites or however many invites you send out? Right? What if nobody replies? Okay, I felt that before. I've had that happen before. I've gotten crickets and nothing. But instead of asking that, what if nobody replies to 15 invites? I want you to ask yourself, what if this saves one life? Okay? What if maybe 15 people will say no, but maybe one person will say yes, and maybe this is exactly what they need in this exact moment of their life. So I hope that you've written some of those down. I think it's a very powerful way for you to, work on shifting your mindset by yourself without, hopping on a training or watching a video or jumping on a call. So just really flipping these things is a pretty awesome way to shift your mindset. The last thing that I have for you guys today is a call to action, of course. So we're going to go ahead and keep asking ourselves questions. I want you to ask yourself how you're going to modify your inviting. Okay, what did you learn from this? What do you think that you could do differently? And if you're not sure where to start, just ask yourself if the inviting process makes you be a better friend. And what I mean by that is that whole, make their day, make them feel good. Don't just say, hey, want to be in my challenge group? And I don't think any of you on this call probably do that or listening to this call do that. But I think that really focusing on building that personal connection with them is going to make your inviting so much more powerful. And then as far as how to execute this, share a way that you're planning to revamp your inviting, or a way that you have revamped your inviting, and what the results were from that. And I want you, I know a lot of times we'll share publicly on our pages and stuff like that, and if that's your jam, go ahead and do that, please do. But I think it might be more beneficial if you share this with your success partner. And if you don't have a success partner that you're working with right now, go ahead and pass it on to your upline. They're obviously there to support you too. But I would say, really utilize your success partner relationship with this particular call to action. And the last thing too, just, with that whole success partner relationship thing, one of the roles as a success partner is for you to be holding your success partners accountable. So go ahead and ask your success partner for their revamp of their invite. That is what I have for you today. Oh, wait, I thought of one other thing. Let me stop screen sharing a second. Hold on. I actually don't know how to do that right now. I guess, the last thing that I was going to say is, when I was going off on my little tangent before about staying accountable and taking ownership, if that's something you guys want to explore and learn a little bit more about, write this down, get out your pen and paper, check out chapter 2 of the compound effect, and check out chapter 6 of the 10x rule. Both of those are great chapters on how to go from there. So if that's something you want to look up on your own, and I would encourage you to do so. Even if you've already read those books, go back to chapter 2 of the compound effect and chapter 6 of the 10x rule. So let's see, I think we have a little bit of time for questions. If anybody wants to go ahead and type in the chat box about anything. We will skip the questions from there and see if you guys have any questions instead. I'm not really sure what happened there at the end. Thanks for your patience. How is inviting going for you guys right now? Are you doing any of those things? Or is there something that stood out to you that you really want to start doing?
I feel like it made it sound a lot easier than I've been building it up in my head. So that's a good thing. It makes me want to invite more people that I was kind of like, oh, what if they think that I suck, or I don't. So it was good for me to hear that.
That what if screen spoke to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm glad that the whole process in general seems easier, or whatever you want to call it, than maybe you've been building up in your head.
Yeah, I kind of build it up as oh, what if they say no right away, and then I don't know what to say? But obviously I'm gonna know what to say. It's just one of those things that typing it out just makes me nervous at first. So it's better this way to have it all written down and think about what if they say yes, and what, instead of being so negative on myself. So it's good.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. You're just kind of sitting down and really visualizing what it would mean for you if they were in your group before you hit that send button, or before you type it out, like we talked about right in the beginning, or what it would mean for them to what does this mean for for us, since this is, again, this business is so built on relationships. So
yeah, I think I read somebody posted on, I think it was the overall team page, the big one, that they had been posting all these things and were kind of down on themselves because nobody reached out and whatever. And then someone sent them a message and was like, yeah, I've been really depressed this whole year and all this stuff, and all your posts make my day every time, and it's inspired me to work out. And I don't know if anybody else saw that one, but it was really good.
I think Ashley Hobley had something really similar recently, or happened to her.
Yeah, it might have been that one. I don't know. It was really good though. I was like, that's why I'm doing this.
It's just such a testament that people are watching, even if they never interact on anything you ever do or say.
Yeah.
You may never like it, they might never comment on it, but people see it.
Yep.
I think I loved the point about after the follow-up, because I think that's where it gets hard. Like when people tell me no, I have a tendency to be like, oh gosh, they think I'm stupid. I should have never sent that. I'm just gonna leave them alone. But there have been so many times where maybe they don't want to get a challenge pack, but like they want me to help send them some recipes or something. So like doing those little things shows them that you're invested, and then months later they'll message me and be like, I'm ready, like I want to do this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. And it doesn't happen every time, but even if it's just once or twice, like that, I think that really treating them like a person and being their friend and being their support, even when they're not gonna buy something from you, is just so important.
I think so too. And like, okay, so one thing that stuck out to me that you just said was about how, oh, I feel so silly. I never should have sent him that in the first place. Like when you compare that feeling of how you're evaluating yourself compared to the feeling that you feel when they reach back out 2 months later, like it's like, it doesn't even matter. Like that first one is meaningless. Like that too. On that note as well, I'm reading, pardon my language, but it's called Get Over Your Damn Self with my Team Cup right now, Team Cup team. And one thing that I just read that I've never thought of to do before, but it's brilliant, of when someone says no, whether it's to the coaching opportunity or to the challenge group, to ask them for a referral. Ask them if they know anybody. And like, don't say referral, because in my brain, like referral is like so official and it doesn't need to be. But ask them like, this obviously isn't you right now, but do you know anybody who like is kind of down on themselves right now, or do you know anybody who's really struggling with X, Y, and Z? Because that was really eye-opening for me, because in my head, I've only ever asked for recommendations or referrals or whatever you want to call them after someone's been through a challenge group and experienced it. But you can, just because they're not into it doesn't mean that they don't know people. So pocket that one too. We have a couple minutes left. If you guys have anything like inviting specific you want to chat about, I know this is always like a hot topic. Heather, I think. Yeah, try again.
Oh.
I think say something again. No, let me see if I can unmute you though. Oh, you are unmuted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, it was my headset. Something wrong with my headset. What do you do about crickets? I've had a lot of invites sent out, but I'm getting nobody's responding, and I don't want to keep bugging them.
What do you guys do about crickets?
I usually, and like dependent on the conversation that's happened before the cricket, sometimes you're like chatting with someone and you put the invite out there and then you hear nothing. Or sometimes, like, just depending on how the conversation goes, but I usually do like 3 follow-ups. And then I start back at step 1 with like just engaging in general conversation and trying to get it to move along again. So that's me.
That might help. I'll try it.
Yeah. I think follow-up is always really good. Like Ashley says, her rule is 3. Sometimes people look at their phone and they forget to respond. I mean, I'm guilty. But yeah, the follow-up is so important to bring something back up. And you can throw like a deadline in there, like, hey, saw you saw my message, or new coach training starts on the 21st. Can I save you a spot? Or like throw something in there like kind of time sensitive, sort of, so you can do that. And then, yeah, exactly. Like, I like the way that Ashley worded it. It's like, start back at step 1, like start re-engaging with them, something you saw them post about or whatever.
Okay, I'll try that. Thanks.
It's a really good question. It's a really good question. It happens a lot. So I would say that's like, there's like kind of 4 common responses, and crickets is definitely one of them. Like, You be in a conversation, then all of a sudden you're like, witness protection program. Where'd you go?
Exactly.
Ashley or
I'll
Dave?
say having crickets like after they've already like said that they want to do the challenge pack and you've already sent them like the email with everything in it, and then they like don't order and don't order and don't order, and then it's like, the heck, you reached out to me. It's so frustrating.
I think people get scared of the price. That's what I've seen so far. So I think like what I do is go back and be like, you're worth this money and you need to, or you should invest in yourself and stuff like that. At least for me, when I joined, that was what I saw. I was like, oh my God, this is so much money that I'm going to spend on this stuff. And even trying to get my mom to join, she was like, $130 a month for Shakeology. That's a shake. What are you doing with yourself? And I was like, well, you're worth it. If you want to have a healthy body and lose weight, then you need to put yourself first. So, I mean, that's what I've been saying to people.
You're worth it. I love that. Love it, love it. I just thought of one other thing too. This side note, not responding to the crickets, but if you're getting price objections right now, I think I would just encourage you to really push even harder in August, because come September, we've had the sale price for so long that it doesn't even seem like a sale price anymore. But BOD is going to go back up to 200. So have that on your radar. It's not going to be 160 anymore. For the foreseeable future. Maybe they'll bump it back down again at some point, but just keep that in your head too. But yeah, Dana, is there anything that you're doing right now or working through right now that stands out to you? Excuse me. I don't want to put you on the spot if there's nothing. I just always love hearing from you.
I just posted a question in the chat box, but how would you follow up with someone who said like not right now about a month ago because of like the price? They had a lot of stuff going on. Like, would you lead with the sale price? Because I know that we're developing connections and stuff with people and not like salespeople, but at the same time, we want to kind of keep that in mind for them because it was an issue for them before.
Absolutely. That's a really good question. For future reference, like when you talk to people that say that, I think it's always great. I've never had anybody say no, to just ask them if it's okay with them if you follow up in a month or in a couple weeks with them. Because then when you do follow up, it's like, hey, you told me I could. But for your actual question, I would just say, hey, yeah, I would absolutely be like, let them know that the offer is the $40 off promo or whatever you're calling it in September. And since price point was a factor before, like now would be the time to do it if they can swing it. And if not, and if they say, no, I still really can't, then you can just come back with like, you don't know what to expect, or you don't know how much to set aside, or come back with the you're worth it that Caitlin said too. So, I mean, I know there's a difference between like the money, like just not being there, but I love that you're worth it line. Does anyone else have any suggestions for that? Or what do you do after someone says not right now about a month ago?
I usually will just send them a message and like really short and just say, hey, I'm starting another group up next week or in 2 weeks. And I thought of you because I know you had some interest in it. Would love to have you join us. And then like just a FYI, this is a really good time to do it because it's the last month that it's going to be this price. So I don't necessarily lead with the price, but I like to include it, like you said, because I do think that's important.
I completely agree. Let's see. Is there any other inviting related stuff you guys want to brainstorm since we're all here?
I wanted to ask really quick, like, how often do y'all do like just a cold invite? Like, maybe like this person has like liked something, like one of your things, but you just like, do you ever like just have a feeling like, I don't really know, but I'm going to throw it out there?
Have you seen Carl's donut video?
No.
Okay. Well, you're in Nico stream, so you will. Actually, I think everybody in this call is, and I think it's coming up in like 2 days. But definitely on the topic of inviting, I'll post it in our team page. and his perspective on it and how he, his words are way better than mine, so I'll just let you watch it. But to quickly answer your question, his perspective is like in throwing out 5 cold invites every morning is like a really good warm up to the solid recruiting, sponsoring, inviting you do like throughout the day. So that's his perspective. I'll let him explain it, but I'll post it in our team page for you. But I think that'll directly answer your call. And I think he is so fantastic at, I just always learn from him every time he opens his mouth, but about really connecting with coaches and seeing what they need and what is working and what isn't working, and relating to us, I guess. So definitely take that into consideration too as you're listening. What do you guys think about that? I don't want to step on anyone's toes.
No, I've definitely reached out to people who've just liked my stuff. I don't think there's really that much harm in it, especially if they're like interested, you know? I mean, worst they can say is no, so it's whatever.
Right.
I mean, and they might continue seeing your stuff and then come back, like someone else said earlier.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, if you think of somebody that you're like, hey, like, I really think this person would benefit, or, people post on Facebook all the time, like, oh, I really need to lose weight, or, whatever. Like, if you really think that there's somebody out there that, could benefit, it doesn't hurt. And like she said, what's the worst that can happen? They're going to say no. And then they're going to end up just watching your page that much more. Mm-hmm. And eventually they do usually come back.
That's true. I think one thing that's really important to add too is after they say no, especially if it's a cold invite, it's kind of like a reverse process, but make sure that you are maybe more than normal in speaking with them to like let them know that it wasn't just like a quick bolt, sale or whatever you want to call it, but that you're commenting on their pictures or you're whatever. Even private messaging them like, hey, I saw you just went here. I remember when that was so fun. But keep that relationship going even after they say no, especially with cold invites. So we're going to get kicked off in about a minute. But let me see. I don't think that I have anything else for you guys tonight, but obviously if you think of anything, drop it in the team page. And I will post the donut video there too. So thanks for hopping on tonight, everybody. We'll see you in the team pages.